Unfortunately, I think we're too far gone from that. I think where we're headed, where we have the capability of being in the Sahara Desert, the middle of the rainforest, and still have 5G, it has me believing that we are in a time to where it's inescapable. Anywhere you go, you can be found, even if it's in the deepest, darkest depths.
AI is the process of learning your preference, learning your tastes, learning your desires, learning everything there is to know about you and giving you more of it, right? That's AI.
We didn't realize how involved AI was in our lives. AI has made a massive jump being able to understand English. In the past 2 years, people have been able to create an AI that actually understands English, and that changes the game. Good evening, Chris. How'd you like that?
Good evening, Noah.
Was that a better intro? I was trying to make it lively right off the bat.
You did. You did. You made it light right off the bat.
I like it.
I
How's it
like it.
going?
Super stinking fantastic. You know
As
that, right?
expected. That's
Yes.
good. I'm
Yes.
glad to hear it. The day you
Absolutely.
don't say that will have me concerned.
Yeah. It held me concerned.
Uh-huh.
Well, it would concern me not to feel like I need to say that. You know what I'm saying? Because
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
because that's who I am. That's what I do. You know, it's who I am. It's what I am.
That's it, man.
So yeah,
That is the embodiment of Chris.
it personifies.
Mm. Well,
What's going on in your world?
another day. Actually, I am getting ready for another trip here that we are going to be taking off
Well, I
tomorrow.
understand that.
Yeah, it's a big, exciting stuff. If you guys have listened to previous episodes, you might know what I'm getting into this coming weekend, or actually, I should say, middle of the week and into the weekend, little
Come on,
weekend getaway, if you will.
come on.
So exciting stuff to come. But shall we introduce ourselves?
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely. Start off with you all.
I think I shall. As a matter of fact, well. With that, welcome to this week's episode of Duo Jive. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or have somehow survived all, I think, 37 episodes
Dude,
so far, thank
dude,
you, by the way.
dude.
Seriously. Welcome to Wyoming's #1 podcast for questionable advice, accidental wisdom, and deeply unnecessary storytelling.
Yes,
Whew. All right, there you
absolutely,
have it, right off the bat.
absolutely. Deeply unnecessary, and I'm very, very excited to be a part of it. Enjoying the fire out of it.
Another
Thanks for
week,
doing that.
another
It
week
was your
down.
idea. Yes,
It was a good
another
idea.
37 weeks represents how many years I've been married.
Crazy.
Yep,
And we're
and
just
that,
shy of it.
yeah, well, just shy of the anniversary.
Actual anniversary,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Couple
which is
months.
March the 11th, I think.
So
Yeah.
coming up,
Yep, 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 yep.
you might want to remind that. Set a reminder or something.
I got it somewhere, and it will
Good.
remind me here before too long. But yeah, March the 11th. So we're going to be celebrating 37 years,
How exciting.
in which there was 27 years, right? With you
Yeah,
hanging around with us, that made that
I
marriage all that
was.
much more fun, and the family unit complete.
27 years as of this past, well, I
Yes.
guess a week ago, which is kind of
Yep.
nuts. It's been a
Yep.
week since my
Yep.
birthday. That went by quick. It was a fun weekend. But before we get into it, just kind of wrapping it up to you guys, welcome in. And this is your hosts, Noah and Chris. Make sure to check us out on Instagram or TikTok, both Duo
Yes.
Jive or our personal accounts. Drop a comment
Yes.
or with what you
Yes.
want to hear next, or follow and subscribe. Just it helps us out more than you know. And
Duo
we do have
Jive.
personal accounts. Mine is Noah Avery. Chris is. Do you want me to give you?
If absolutely.
Well, this is iProducer Chris over here at iProducer Chris at Noah
Yes.
Avery. I have
Yes.
vlogs. You can go check out my shorts. And then, of course, our Duo Jive channel. Check out those for some fun clips and some advice if you guys have any. But yeah, anyways, we can get right back into it,
Questionable advice, mind you.
as it always is.
And, I think a little forewarning. Noah's blogs, what do you call it? What do you call what you do on the side? Separate
I would
from
say
you.
vlogs,
Okay, very good.
virtual
So
logs.
so yeah, and that's right. Vlogs is a good way to put it. So Noah's vlogs are fun and light and a whole lot of that stuff, right? It's absolutely a blast. Not to mention this fact that you get into stuff that's really valuable with regards to living right and the weight and all that stuff, right? About being healthy, right? And on the other hand, you just got to have a strong stomach and be ready for a lot of political stuff. Know that
Ooh,
before
that's a
you.
heavy word.
Oh, well, yes, but it's where I'm at. It's where I've been for 10, 15 years at least. And so, yeah, I mean, before you visit iProducer or iProducer Chris, know that, right? And if you want to keep it light, you know where to go.
You've been forewarned. Light,
Yeah,
Noah. A little bit heavier, more political, Chris.
yeah,
There's your options. That's a
yeah,
quite a divided road.
yeah,
It gives people variety. I like it.
yes,
It's a good
yeah.
mix up. But be forewarned. That is for sure.
I was
And that goes
contacted.
both ways. You were
Yeah,
contacted. Now I'm
yeah.
curious.
No, I got to hear both ways.
Well, it goes both ways because I'm a noob. I'm a beginner, so my vlogs are very newbie esque. And if you stick around, I swear it'll get better. You just gotta power through, if you will. Power through the first season to get to the good stuff.
Well, yeah, and remembering, it's funny because if you compare what you're doing right now, and not just with Duo Jive, but your personal stuff, compare it to what you were doing, what, 6 months ago, probably 8 months ago. That's new. That's
Well, I
those are
guess
really new.
there you
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
I get it. I get it. Well, I'm curious what you have to think of this newest video. I actually have another video that is going to go live probably tomorrow. So if you're watching this, it's already
Nice.
out. Go check it out on my personal channel. It will be linked below, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube. So make sure to check it out after you're done listening to this, of course, and you're done doing your dishes or whatever, listening in with us. But we have to go back. I'm sorry. You said you were contacted.
Well, I got a message today from a friend from a long time ago. He lives in Belleville, right outside of St. Louis, and he wants to know when I'm going to be back in town so that he can talk about because we have very similar tastes regarding
I got you. So this
political.
is a good contact.
Yeah, absolutely. About joining up with him on some stuff he's wanted to do, and I'm always game to talk about that stuff. But yeah, my stuff may get a little more serious because I know him and know where he stands on this stuff.
It sounds like we may need to have some, and we've said this multiple times now, and to be honest, we need to just bite the bullet and pick someone, but we may need to have a guest come on that has some differing opinions so we can have an hopefully very respectable delegation on both yours and whoever's topics that is, because I'm your typical, am I a millennial? No, I think I'm a Gen Z. I'm your typical Gen Z. I'm kind of loosey goosey about the political stuff, and I'll hear you out. But that's the extent of it. I definitely am not too heavy into the political realm right now, so you're not
I
getting
get
much
that.
from me.
I get that. And it's funny because you didn't grow up in the same era I grew up in. I remember what it was like to live in a country that was very, very, very patriotic. We had in my childhood, we had a 200-year anniversary of the country. 200 years. We were celebrating America for 200 years. And that was a very grand event, as a kid and as my
Crazy.
family fortunately, I was raised in a family that knew the value of these things. And it was a very, it was a big celebration, for everybody around us and my family. And I remember that, right? I've had the privilege of growing up with these things and being able to take them for granted. And I also see them being stripped away. And I don't think today's generation, especially, maybe your generation as well, but the generation after you, I don't think that they know what's being taken away from them. And that's one of the reasons why
No,
I'm very vocal. I'm very vocal about those things, and I know where I stand, and I'm not afraid to say it. Some people appreciate it, some people don't. That's okay. I have a lot of fun with that, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
good. If you enjoy
that's
it, then I guess that's a good thing.
or if you happen to feel the same way, right? Appreciate or value these things that I've grown up with, and it's funny because you grew up with it too, just not as it wasn't as pronounced, it wasn't
No, and
as
that's the thing. I think
strong.
that's the danger. with today's day and age is the way it's being stripped away is it's basically have you ever heard of, the way they cook a crab to where they put it in a nice,
Exactly.
comfortable pot of water
Yes,
and then slowly raise the temperature? It's
that's
not
the
gonna be
same.
stripped away overnight, and because of that, we're comfortable with it in a weird way.
Yes.
We're n in no way the newer generations are in no way, they don't care enough to be involved or to get into the conflict or the negotiation or whatever whenever it comes to politics, I feel, and it's just easier to go, someone else will do it."
Yep. Yep. I wish I could get every person in the world to watch The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
I actually think oh, yes, I have seen that, I've seen that.
Yeah.
That is
It
a classic.
it is. It's a classic, and also, it's indicative of no, history has a way of repeating itself. It really does. It just repeats itself,
Sadly.
and it's getting now that we are roughly, what, 200 and, whatever years old as a country, we're going to repeat history, you know, just like the children
Man,
children
we're about to
children of
hit that
Israel.
cycle.
Yeah, we are. And, the children of Israel, and as Christians, we repeat history over and over and over again. And that's why the Bible says, as it was in the days of Noah, right? We're going to be repeating that period in time, which we are already, by the way.
Mhm.
As we are in the middle of repeating all of that junk, all of that crap from Noah's day, the Bible says, as it was, so shall it be when he's getting ready to return. And sadly, there's going to be a lot of people very sad by the fact that God has returned, because they weren't ready. They didn't want to be ready. They never took time to read the Bible and make sure they understood. The best thing in the world a person could possibly do is read the Bible. It's amazing.
It does I mean, let's be honest, it is what it is, where it is what it says it is, which is you can sum it up to, if you wanna be a more modern way of saying it, the BIBLE, the basic
Oh,
instructions
that's
before leaving Earth. If you really wanna look at it like just being able to connect your relationship with God, understand what it's all about,
yes,
and
yes,
start somewhere, that's a great starting point
absolutely.
for sure.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this or watching this, Noah and I don't spend a lot of time on these subjects, that's for sure. But when we do get on them, I hope that you take into consideration we are wanting to help if at all possible. The old adage, if you saw somebody standing in the road not looking around and a bus was coming up on them, and the bus doesn't see them and is going to run them over, right? You're going to try to get them out of the street. You're going to try if you got to tackle them out or drag them out by their arm, whatever it is, you're going to get them out of the way of that bus, right? Or whatever thing is approaching them
Mhm.
and going to run them over because they were unknowingly in front of something that was going to kill them in the road. We would, general, just as human beings, want to do that thing, whatever it takes, to get them out of the way of that oncoming object that is going to kill them. It's the same thing. And you've heard it before, but it is absolutely true because we know if you read the book at the back of the book, if you read the word of God, who never lies, if you read the Bible, you know that there's something getting ready to happen, most likely sooner than we think, maybe a little sooner than later. I don't know. But when God returns, people have to be ready for him. They have to be in a
And if you wanna
relation.
know, read the Bible.
Yeah. And they have to be in a relationship. And a lot of people look at the Bible as something that's going to, be nothing but a corrective tool. In other words, you got to do better. You got to do better. You got to live sinless. You got to do that. And what people may not know is that when you're a Christian, when you're in a relationship with Christ, you don't think about that stuff. You just don't want to do those things that the God or Jesus preached about, or that the Word of God tell us are sins. You just don't want to do them, right? And so that's why Noah and I do talk about this every once in a while, because we care. But thank you for listening. Thank you very much.
Yeah. If you still are listening, we greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What went on in your world this week, Noah?
Well, this weekend was a continuation of my birthday. Like I said earlier, my birthday was
Right?
last Wednesday. Crazy to think that it was already a week, but I had some family come and visit for a little get together.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thanks to your beautiful wife for setting that whole thing up because she orchestrated the whole thing and made one of the best cakes I've ever tasted. Oh my goodness gracious.
It
Dude.
was good stuff. Yeah, it's on my dessert topic of the week.
Okay. We definitely want to talk about that and share that with everybody.
Hmm.
But I mean, everybody was there, fortunately, thank God, and thank you to them. If anybody happens to come across this, thank you
That's very
for being
true.
there.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you for
kind of
coming along and taking the
hanging out.
time out of your day to come visit and hang out with me, and
Absolutely.
that includes you, Mister Chris over here came and traveled all the way to ye olde Wyoming for the weekend. It helps. It does help, even though we're in January, that the road conditions were as clear as they were. Because
I
let's be
was
honest,
just
this
saying.
time of year is just not
Yes.
that
Y-
case. It's an
Yes.
odd one. So I
Yes.
do appreciate it, and
Yes.
it was fun. We had some
Yes.
delicious food, some
My
good,
goodness. Yes.
you can't go wrong with a fun, just classic birthday party.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And we had that. And everybody was there, and I'm very thankful for it. And looks like those weather conditions are going to continue for you and your travels. I'm thankful for that.
Yes, this weekend.
Yep.
That's very true, and I'm very thankful as well. I was gonna get there one way or another. If I had to take some back roads or whatever it took, I was gonna
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
take the trek. We're actually
You were
still
gonna
planning on
you were gonna
leaving
make it.
the day before just to be safe. Yeah, we're planning on making it, and which is fun because of the fact that we're coming a night before, we'll be able to briefly see you,
Yes.
which will be nice. It's gonna be for a
Yes.
brief moment, that's for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Doubt about it. Because you're leaving after work and all that stuff, and I get that. But still, it's kind
Mhm.
of exciting that I get to take you guys to the airport and drop you off. Whoop. Yep. That's
Are
gonna be
you
fun.
okay with that, by the way?
Heck yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Yes. And yes. And of course, pick you up when you get back into town. So you're heading out Wednesday? Your flight leaves Thursday morning?
Yep, our flight Thursday morning, and then we arrive Sunday night. So
Okay.
a little weekend mini. Oh, by the way, the trip that I'm going on is to California,
Come on now.
specifically Disneyland
Right.
Resort, Disneyland, like the whole overall, both the parks and all that good
Yes.
stuff. We're gonna go
Yes.
check it out. We're gonna go
Yes.
over there and do some Disneyland fun, and
Yes.
this was my first time to the Disneyland parks, which is also exciting. This is my first time to California, so I'm kinda marking a couple things off the bucket list. Gonna go check out, last minute, we're gonna go check out and see the sights, maybe do a quick drive by at the Hollywood sign. Not much there, mainly focused on Disneyland,
Yes.
and check out that whole thing because my wife and I, we're big Disney
That's
fans,
an
I should
understatement.
say. We
That's an
do go to
understatement.
Disney.
Understatement.
Well, okay, there's this grouping of people online that are called Disney adults, and I don't think we fit that because we you don't walk into our house and immediately get overwhelmed with Disney.
That is
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
It's very, very classic.
And we're not
You're absolutely right.
it's not like I don't have a Disney seasonal pass or annual pass even though I live in Wyoming. That makes you a Disney adult. Living out of state and still owning a Disney season pass,
All right.
I'm just going for, a quick getaway and to mark off the Disneyland and go check out that coast along with being able to see the original park to Walt Disney. I've always had a interest in Walt Disney and what he's created and what he started and, just
Yes. Yes. And
exploring
different.
the originality of it all. So
Yipper.
exciting stuff. We
Yep.
are, a little mini getaway. And if you want to know some more insight on it, I did get away. I don't want to go into the nitty gritty of it unless you guys want to hear. But this is going to
Well,
be a
share.
pretty affordable trip. I'm leaving from Denver to California. We're going for 4 days and we're going to do Disneyland, DCA. We're staying at a nearby hotel within walking distance. We're going to, of course, fly there and fly back. And the 4 days in total for everything except for food is going to come out to about $1,300 to $1,400. In
Yeah.
my
Well,
opinion, that's pretty good considering I'm taking me, my wife, and my 1.5
yep.
year old.
I
So it's a
couldn't do
full
it.
family getaway,
Yep. You had to work hard
and
to get
we're, we're
that,
gonna
didn't
we're
you?
gonna make the best of it. It'll
Yep.
be. I did. It took let's just say I took advantage of working 12 hours for 3 months straight every
Yes.
day and having some
Yes.
free time.
Yes.
Well, some free time, I should say, some downtime, if you will, and at work, and being able to take advantage of that to kind of just study different loopholes. I'm big on trying to find a deal. Definitely balling on a budget. So we'll go make the best of it.
Oh,
Any
not a,
advice out there if you guys have last minute? I did say this last episode or 2 episodes ago whenever we talked about Disneyland.
it was last
If you have
episode.
any advice, throw it my way would be.
Yep.
Was it last episode? I thought
Well,
so.
briefly.
Throw it
We've
my
talked
way?
about it more. We talked about it more 2 episodes, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't remember. Well, go back and listen. Let me know which one it was, and then come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, somebody out there, I'm sure, has been there and taken advantage of a few discounts, right? Or a few specials or a few tricks, a few backdoor things, whatever. I'm sure there's been one or two, and you may end up with a couple of emails this week, and that'll be fun.
Maybe.
Yeah, won't have
That'd be
much
cool.
time. Like it's nice Tuesday. So you'll be here
I was
tomorrow
gonna
night.
ask you what you did this weekend. I will be. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally
Excellent.
tomorrow. We head your way.
It all starts tomorrow. Dang. Well, I mean,
Yeah, crazy.
yeah, my weekend was amazing, right? So I made it home midday Friday and spent time with you guys and enjoyed every second of the time that I was there getting to hang out with you guys and then of course play with all three grandkids. Yep. That was pretty awesome and enjoyed the
It was.
fire out of it. And then didn't come back until a little bit after midnight Sunday. So I drove in
Wow. So you were
to
here the
yeah,
rest of the day.
yeah, I drove into well, I did a bunch of stuff at the house and laundry and all that stuff. So I drove into my job Monday morning from Wyoming. Fortunately,
Sorry to
my
hear
da-
that.
yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't a problem actually because the roads were uber clear, right? It was amazing. I got to
That's
use.
good.
I expected with the way the weather was acting Sunday that I wouldn't get to use cruise control to go home, right? It's a big deal to me. I want when I get on the highway, I don't want to have to keep my foot on the gas pedal. I like to just kick back, and cruise. I didn't have to. I didn't. I probably had to take the cruise off about 2 or 3 times total in a 4-hour trip. So it was
And
a
that's due to
good
the
trip.
the
Yeah, because the roads were clear, right? Not snowed up and iced up or anything like that. I had a brief moment of a
good.
55 mile an hour speed limit. And then, I mean, it was a fantastic trip, not to mention the fact that I didn't have any cars around. It was very sparsely traveled with other cars at that time.
It's all the better, especially
Yeah.
traveling on a major highway in Wyoming, which is
Yep.
usually filled with semis.
Yes.
But when you got here on Friday, that's when our dessert kind of,
Yes. Of
well,
course it.
I should say my dessert
Yes, it did.
extravaganza took off, and
Yes, it did.
my dessert of the week and a honorable mention are both on. Do you also have a dessert this week?
Well, of course, my so the thing that was my guilty pleasure, it really pleased me, was the what do you call those things that Lizzie made for you? What are those? What are
They were Biscoff
yes,
truffles.
yeah, the Biscoff truffles and Tiffany's cake. It was like overindulge on some pleasures, and that was what I did this weekend, and felt bad for it. But I'm not doing it now, thank God. But it was absolutely
Mhm.
incredible because I had both were Biscoff
It was good
cookies.
stuff. That's actually my honorable mention. The Biscoff was it stole the show this weekend, and
Yes, it
both
did.
in truffle form and in cake form. My family definitely knows me because, I mean, Biscoff and desserts. I mean, what better gift can you receive than something that just you enjoy way too much?
Yes,
So
yes,
we hit it off with a bang with the Biscoff truffles, and then my honorable mention, and that should be, I guess they're both honorable mentions, but then the one that really kind of surprised me was how good the cake turned out for my
yes,
birthday party.
yes,
Tiffany made a homemade Biscoff cake with like a Biscoff cream on the outside, so it was like a
yes,
traditional, like, ra- icing around a cake, but it was
yeah,
infused with Biscoff in a good way,
yep,
and then they had crunchy
yes,
bits in them. Delicious.
yes. It was. I could have eaten. I would still be eating on it if I brought that much back with me, because there might have. I don't think there could have possibly
Do you want me
been
to bring
more.
some more back?
You got any leftovers still? Really?
Dude, I haven't touched it since you left.
Oh, dang.
I can't. Well,
Okay.
I want to really bad.
Well, I get that. And since you're watching your calories and I haven't been, I guess that only makes sense or stands to reason. But at the same time, I think since you're starting your vacation tomorrow and you're and you're not going to be counting your calories as hard, that becomes one of the things I'm sure you've been looking forward to, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe looking forward to when you get back home. So definitely don't mess that up.
I don't
There
know
was
if it'll be
so
good when I
much
get back home.
there was so much Biscoff, and those
It
truffles.
was.
Those truffles were like,
You make it sound like a problem.
well, it's a problem because it's so good, and then you can't, you keep thinking I'll get one more, right? And you eat it, and it's like, well, maybe I'll get one more, and it's like, where do you stop? And then
Dangerous.
it's not good for you to keep eating that much, and you're making excuses, right? But at the same time, it was a true pleasure. At the same time, yeah, we just
Good
go with it.
stuff.
Yeah.
So is that your top dessert?
Yes, it was. Yes, especially with the cookie I brought home. Liked it, but I wasn't nearly as pleased as the brown as I was with the brownie.
The cookie? Okay, so that is my
Yes.
dessert. The
Is it?
honorable mentions were the Biscoff cake and the Biscoff truffles, but my dessert of the week, and it's going to sound cliche, especially if you guys have listened to previous episodes, I seem to have an addiction, and I mean, let's just be honest, it's to sweets, but specifically to cookie butter, clearly. And the
Yes.
other one is Dubai pistachio chocolate anything. So you're talking the chocolate bars, I've had Dubai pistachio cotton candy on previous episodes. If you want to see what
Yes.
that's all about, go find it
Yes.
and check it out.
Don't do that again.
And I've also had of course, the classic crumble brownie. And now Chris here brought a box of crumble for this past weekend, and one of them was a Dubai chocolate cookie instead of a brownie. So it wasn't too significantly different, other than it was almost like it was less, more reasonable and more cookie. Definitely more cookie than brownie.
Definitely. Definitely more
And it was
cookie,
delicious.
more manageable, but at the same time not as delicious. For me.
I agree. It was, in my standards, top of the line because it's Dubai cookie butter or Dubai Biscoff. Wow, I've got Biscoff stuck on the brain. It was Dubai chocolate a cookie, but I
Yes.
agree. The brownie is definitely the top of the chain, top of the line, the best. Holds the spotlight when it comes to Dubai or just desserts anywhere. The Dubai chocolate brownie from Crumble.
Yes.
It's top tier.
Yeah. And well, it's kind of funny because when it's crumble, it's going to be good, right? It was good. We knew it would be good. Then on top of that,
Yeah, most of the time.
it was Dubai. It's like, oh heck yeah, right? And it was so good, and it was delicious, and it was almost spectacular. However, it wasn't because of the fact that it wasn't the brownie. And there's more pistachio in the brownie than there is in the cookie.
I agree. The
And more.
crunch is way better in the brownie.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and it's funny because you're mixing that's the soft texture of the brownie with the crunch. It's just okay. It's freaking awesome, and it's amazing and spectacular. The brownie is
That's it.
amazing. So, anytime we get a chance to get those, we're going to be bringing those home, right? But the cookie was good, but it was definitely was not the brownie. So hopefully, Crumble's listening to this right now, and they're taking note. And I'm sure they've gotten other remarks about the Biscoff brownie versus the Biscoff cookie, and vice versa. So hopefully they're going to keep that
You
brownie,
mean you mean Dubai?
the brownie versus the cookie. Yeah, Dubai, of course.
Yeah,
But
you said
the,
Biscoff brownie versus Biscoff cookie.
my bad. Yeah, I got Biscoff on the brain, which you can kind of understand, right?
The same.
Well, but yes, they've gotten complaints about the brownie versus the cookie. And so I'm sure they've gotten response or feedback concerning the cookie versus the brownie. Hopefully, they're going to keep pumping out that Dubai brownie on a weekly basis so that I can, whenever I'm coming home, I'm bringing it with me. Yay.
That's very true. But I got something for you.
What's that?
Okay, so do you remember how last week we were discussing briefly on needing followers on TikTok?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do remember.
Well, we're actually getting closer. We are now a whopping 18 followers away from being able to go live on TikTok. So in the future, not quite right now, clearly, because we still aren't eligible, but whenever we finally unlock that ability, or that perk, we could do like a pre-show. I'm thinking that's the route we need to take. We do a
Really?
live pre-show prior to the episode where somebody can, people can hop in, chat it up with us, and then we'll go into the live show, at which point they'll unfortunately just have to look forward to the following week as usual. But, just being able to chat it up with us in live, get us amped up for the conversations and everything like that. I think it's going to be a
I
good
like it.
thing. So
I
we might
like it.
have to just keep pushing it.
Yes, it'll
So
seem
if you're listening
reminiscent.
out there, or if you're watching this on TikTok or Instagram or something, make
Yes,
sure to hit that
YouTube.
follow button because we would
Yes,
greatly appreciate it. But now
yeah,
back to our deeply unnecessary storytelling.
yes.
Sorry, I had to throw that in right real quick for the TikTok
Yeah,
video.
absolutely,
That's going to be
absolutely.
a little
And
one of our
that
little
probably
clips.
we should probably, truth be told, should probably spend a few minutes on that, talking about what we can do, something that the listeners slash viewers would like. And, I mean, I'll give you an example. And this is why a pre show would be reminiscent to me, because after having spent years in radio where we did shows or we did pre shows and gave away stuff, just something to think about, some kind of merch it becomes exciting. It gets really exciting real fast when you could start talking about that kind of stuff. And something I would like to maybe bring up is how we can bring that merch to the tables. So what you need to do is get to work on our logo. Just saying, really get that logo out there so that we can put it in people's hands
I like it.
and get them talking about us as well. You know, I
It's a good idea.
I wear this hat everywhere I go because it's The Chosen, right? I want to talk about The Chosen. I want to start conversations about The Chosen because The Chosen is a good show, and I would like it if people did that, and I was doing it as well about Duo Jive. Yep.
I
So
agree. In due time, it has to be done properly, which means, things like that take time.
I know.
So something, unfortunately, as of right now, it'll something to look forward to. But
Yep.
as with all things, as
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
good things,
I get it. I mean, I
good
got
things
kind of
come to
spoiled.
those who wait. So,
Absolutely.
well, it certainly sounds like you're spoiled over there. You were spoiled with KSBJ. We're a little bit, this is beginning steps. This is baby steps over here with Duo Jive. We're
I
still
know.
figuring it out
I know.
ourselves, but that's
I,
exciting.
yes. And Scripture says never despise small beginnings.
Amen to that.
Whatever it is you're doing for God, don't despise small beginnings. And it's very easy for me to lose sight every once in a blue moon for a brief second of the fact that we are in our infancy, you know, and it is a small beginning, but it's exciting because everything I'm seeing and everything I hear points to the fact that this is success in the making. And very excited about the listeners that have let us know that they're listening, whether it's good or bad, right? They're reaching out and saying, "Hey, man, I didn't like that at all," or "That was stupid."
People
And that
tend to do
old,
that on the internet.
yeah, 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 and that old guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and I get that. I know they're talking about me. It's kind of cool because unlike radio, there's more of an instantaneous connection with with our listeners or viewers, whether they're watching or listening. But yeah,
Now,
man.
my question to you is, do you think there's still possibility for success, or do you think we're in a business that could potentially kind of wither away with this new thing called AI?
No, not at all. Not at all. As a matter of fact, AI, the emergence of AI is taking the people are using it to streamline. It's like autotune. Autotune, you know what autotune is, right?
Of course.
Okay. So artists are using autotune to make themselves sound better, and the label's responsible for it most of all in the studio, is responsible for making things sound better than they really are, and the realness of it, the genuineness of it, it's going out the window in a lot of cases. And AI is doing the same thing to everything, whether it's movie production, shorts, commercials, you name it, right? Podcasts. You could do a whole podcast and never have to have somebody sitting on the opposite side of the microphone or the screen,
So
or a
what you're
table.
saying is using AI is almost like a tool. It's the equivalent to too auto-tuned to where we can use it as an advancement to become more professional, use it in our to fill out the more
Take,
time-consuming tasks, really.
well, but more importantly, it's taking away the humanity of it.
Do you think?
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Wait,
do.
okay, well, then another question I have for you is, do you use AI in and this goes out to everybody listening too. Do you use AI in everyday life?
That's a great question. It is a great question because I'm of the opinion everybody's using AI every day,
You
several
think
times.
we're in a majority right now already? You think so,
No,
like, if we were to speak to all of our listeners or people out there, you don't think most people would say no?
I think there's a percentage that won't have any idea how much they are using AI. For example,
Mm,
and
that's
I think
true.
you name off several dozen, no doubt, ways that people are using AI. Couldn't you?
I mean, that's actually where I was headed was, the thought of AI. It's funny because people kind of have it set in their mind that AI is like a ChatGPT or an assistant, and it's like, "No, I wouldn't touch that," or I don't really get into it. I feel like most younger generations are definitely involved in the realm of AI. This may go for, someone more in your generation, maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older, but around your generation is going to be a little more hesitant with AI. And the funny part is I actually came to a realization that these people, older generations that may not take a liking to AI, they actually may be using it already without even realizing it.
I use it every day. I do.
Well, you probably use ChatGPT and, more advanced AI, but an example that or a couple examples that I have here are, for example, maps rerouting traffic. That is a
Yes.
form of AI. So if you
Yes,
go
it is.
down the road and you're using a map, and let's be honest, everybody does that,
100%.
and you miss your turn, it's going to immediately reroute you to get to that destination from a different way. And that is a form of AI.
Well, just
Music
using
and video recommendations.
okay, absolutely, absolutely. But going back to the maps,
Mhm.
even just using the map is using a form of AI. Just using the map, even without it rerouting you, the map
Well,
is AI,
AI is basically the
artificial
computer.
intelligence.
Yes, but it is the computer or the website, the app, whatever you're using, taking it upon itself to change a command that you put in.
Now
Or
that is more.
responding using yes, yeah, yes, but at the same time, I don't know, using maps necessarily isn't AI because it was built
Mm,
to, they built it from the ground up to get you from point A to point B. But being capable of going, "Oh, I missed the turn, let me just completely find a different route to get you there," with maybe a little bit more time added, but it will get you there just the same way. That is the
more
computer, the
advanced,
brain taking it upon itself to
more
do it
advanced.
itself.
Absolutely, but AI is involved in the conversation that just gets that whole thing started. For example, if I get in my car, put my phone in its holder, and I say, "Siri, give me a route to my RV," because I've got my RV saved in my phone, right? And and a Siri is going to give me two or three different routes. That is a form of artificial intelligence, is it not? Yes,
I
it
don't
is.
know if it is,
It is. It is.
because everything was programmed. Basically, from what it gives you to what it says to what you ask it, it was all programmed. It was all built for the specific scenario of you going using maps, which is a tool to go from here to there. But now if Siri were to go, yeah, Chris, that's a good idea, but honestly, I think you should go and do this instead. Because the fact that I know who you are, I know everything about you, and I know that instead of going home, you should go to the laundromat, you should go to the gym, you should go do this for a little bit instead, and then go home. And it's recommending, without your permission or without your request, a completely different route. That
Well,
would
that
be, in
is.
my opinion, a form of AI
Well,
when it
no,
comes to Siri.
that is an uber advanced version of AI, but it's all started from the moment that I said, "Hey Siri." Quite frankly, that is
So do you
artificial.
think
Oh,
AI is that simple? Well,
yes, I do.
what would you define as AI?
Artificial intelligence. So if
So Siri was pre-built.
yeah, so Siri was programmed to recognize
Mhm.
when someone says, "Hey Siri," right? And what does Siri do? What does Siri do from the moment you say, "Hey Siri"? She
Starts
listens.
listening and responds.
Exactly. She's listening for whatever command. It could be anything. Route me a map to the moon. I don't care. She's out calculating, identifying, processing a route or whatever it is you're asking for. Hey Siri, play Jeremy Camp and that whole album that I downloaded. She's going to do it. She's going to do it, right? On top of still and on top of giving you a route and all turn by turn route to your destination, right? And it could be in 3 states over, 4 states over, 5, 6, 7 states over, and she's going to remember every single two. That's all of that from the very moment that you say, "Hey Siri," on up. That artificial intelligence is at work on your behalf, and people don't realize that they're using artificial intelligence. And it goes a lot further than just maps. It could be, "Hey Siri, call Noah for me," right? She's listening for her voice, for her name, and then I say she, right? The voice that Tina has on her phone is a European male, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
she, right, is
Yeah.
listening for their name,
There's
and
modern. That
yeah,
sounded modern.
it did, didn't it? And then she is processing for you and at work for you from that moment that you make that request or make that command or ask for whatever it is that you ask for. And your car is really good at it because it does all that and then waits to have a conversation with you. You know?
I guess you're right. That is probably it's crazy to think at this point because there used to be a period where Siri was, in my opinion, super advanced, super crazy. The idea of having a virtual assistant or a phone assistant was just crazy,
Yep.
crazy. When in
Yep.
reality, it is the beginning baby steps to what AI has become and will become within the next 5 years.
It's
To
a
a
very
point to where I didn't
smart.
even question. Oh man, I didn't even question Siri being a potential AI. Like my mind was going to just the people and programmers and coders and people figuring out how to create a machine that does things on its own, completely on its own. And Siri doesn't in a way because you have to command her to do it. You have to
Mm,
ask her to do it. You have to speak with her and she will give you exactly what you're looking for. AI will literally give you everything you're asking for and more and different
that's
and
yeah.
ideas
Next
and
level.
different
Absolutely.
like next level exactly and that's where I'm
Yeah.
like okay well that's what people get concerned about but you know where what I was saying about the maps rerouting or like the music and video you go and listen to a song and then all of a sudden let's say if you're on TV or on Spotify or something like that and it's recommending another song you're like well how
Yep.
did it get that recommendation
Yep.
what's giving you the
Yep.
algorithm was built
Yes.
to understand your type
Yes.
of music genre and then it
Yes.
takes that and it pretty much computates it into other possibilities that might match and that is a form of AI. Of
Well,
course, everyone knows social media algorithms at this point, and that just stems
absolutely.
even further, like TikTok, the absolute and this is the funny part because I think younger generations have come to terms and can see what social media is capable of more than older generations because I don't know, it seems as if they can fall into the trap that is doom scrolling. You know, the algorithm finds who you are and what you like so much
Yep.
that you will
Yep.
spend 10 plus hours on it, on just that app or whatever, just scrolling and
Yep.
scrolling
Yep.
and watching
Yep.
and watching and watching, and that's a big form of AI. That one's
Absolutely.
underrated.
Well, and it's funny because AI is the process of learning your preference, learning your tastes, learning your desires, learning everything there is to know about you and giving you more of it, right?
Mhm.
That's AI.
Yep.
And more frequently referred to as algorithms. It sounds maybe a little nicer,
Yes.
but it's just AI. It's just AI, artificial
It
intelligence,
is
constantly listening and learning everything
and
that it
learning, and it's
yes,
growing, and
yes,
that's the crazy part. That's why I'm curious to see where we head as maybe as a society, how we partner with AI. The list goes on and on. Autocorrect and predictive texts, that's a form of AI. Customer
yes,
service chatbots, you know, I'm here
yes,
to help before you talk to a representative. That's a
yeah,
form of AI. Photo enhancement tools. You go and you click a button on your photo and it completely changes the lighting, the dimensions, the definition, and everything like that. What did that? How did it know to do that? How'd it make it look good every single time you click it,
Yes.
even though it's changing the settings on a different
Yes.
photo, it's different. That is a form of AI, and
Yes.
you can just keep going and keep going, and
Keep going.
that's the crazy part. It's been here all along.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah. Especially within the past 10 years. In the past 5 years, it has become more prevalent to hear an answering system say to you, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I can understand complete sentences. Tell me what you want to say or what you want to do, what you want to do here, whatever." All of that I is continuously. Matter of fact, I almost joined a company last year that is selling receptive services, bookkeeping. So, for example, I call the dentist. "Hi, Chris," because it recognizes my phone number, right? This AI service recognizes my phone number, very natural and easy conservative tones and inflection in that conversation that this machine is having with me. "Hi, Chris. How are you doing today? I understand you're calling for a dental appointment. What kind of a dental appointment? Are you wanting your teeth cleaned? Are you wanting to get, or is it emergency?" Right? It'll ask that kind of a question and it will understand when you say whatever it is, leading you, no doubt, to down a road where you're going to give it the information that it wants. And it will even go as far as to set an appointment with a specific doctor on a specific day at a specific time that is comfortable for you. And the doctor
That's an
or
advanced one.
the doctor their phone answering service or reception or whatever will never once pick up the phone. That is all done, and nothing else is happening between that day and the time that you are coming in, except for the day that you do come in. It's going to call you a couple of hours before the meeting and say, "Hey, Chris, just wanted to remind you about your appointment with Doctor So and So, right? Today at 2 o'clock. Is that okay? Are we keeping that
These are all
appointment?" Or
forms of AI.
all of it. It's all AI, all of it. And yeah, and it's funny what machines now are doing. They're learning from themselves, doing what they're doing, learning how to do it even better. And it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
It is.
but people don't think about it, and that's one of the reasons why AI was such an important part of where we were going technologically, and why America is just wrapping up into it. It's
Oh man.
just because.
Okay, so yes, that's what I was gonna ask. My question to you, Chris, is are you accepting of it? Are you going to be are you going to utilize it as a tool? Are you going to keep your distance because you're nervous at what it could become or what it could do? Or is it something that you just understand is a part of life now?
Well, this is my view. I don't believe there is anything about me that is not known already. Everything about me
That's a deep
can be,
question, almost so deep that I'm confused.
well, anything that there is about me, it can be found. And the machine learning systems can find every detail to my life, including my prescriptions for glasses,
So
for
you
example.
can't hide. Is that what you're saying?
There is nothing that I can hide. That is correct. However, I can disconnect. If I feel that something is going on in the AI world where it is wanting to do something that could bring harm to my family or to me, which I don't see that happening in this millennia. However, if I felt like that was something that was happening, I could very easily disconnect. And there are some people that don't maybe feel that confidence. I don't think there are that many. We're still in an era generationally where we feel like we can disconnect from it. Even you feel that way, right? You're a completely different
No.
generation. You don't feel like you can?
No, fortunately, I think we're too far gone from that. I think the where we're headed, where we have the capability of being in the Sahara Desert, the middle of the desert, the middle of the rainforest, and still have G, it has me believing that we are in a time to where it's inescapable. Anywhere you go, you can be found, even if it's in the deepest, darkest depths. You might have an advantage there because it might take a little bit longer to find you. But at the same time, it's inevitable. Whether you are spotted or you are kind of initially found via satellites, via drones, via walking
CCTV.
robots, patrolling robots. Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. Facial recognition is so far, we're so deep into it. And that's the crazy part. And that's what I was trying to get at initially is we didn't realize how involved AI was in our lives, and this goes back the past 10 years. It's just been in the past 2 years, a year, AI has made a massive jump being able to understand English. That's the biggest thing is in the past 2 years, we have been able to create, or people have been able to create an AI that actually understands English. And that changes the game because now with all these tools that they have, with all these tools we have, there's a communication between us two instead of just a command. And that can be interesting. That can be exciting. It can be dangerous. It can be a lot of things. But unfortunately, I think we're already in a point to where, I mean, I'm going to be honest, right now, it's just a tool. It is definitely, it's baby steps, and we can use that to our advantage. That's what I feel like that's what I was going to ask you guys is how do you use AI? Are you guys already in that advanced setting to where you're using it for, like me, brainstorming podcast topics or organizing thoughts and outlines, asking questions you don't normally or you normally Google, but it would give you a more in-depth answer, something a little bit out of the norm, and give you the talking points that Google would give you. These are all things that we can do already, and it's only rapidly growing. So, I
Google
don't know.
was the pre Google was the precursor to AI. And they discovered
Mhm.
very, very quickly how reliant as people, not just in America, but in every culture in the world, the reliance on Google type services was embarrassing. It was addictive, and it was
Isn't that
too.
interesting?
Yeah, and the creators of those platforms realized all too quickly the value, and AI realized it as well all too quickly how popular of a service it would be, and how necessary of a service, and how foundational to day to
It's
day.
basically having a fully updated library and history and knowledge library inside your pocket at all times. You don't
Yes,
have to go back to your
yes,
house and
yes,
read up on a book or
yes,
something like that to discover what you're
yeah,
trying to learn or do. Instead, you just take 5 seconds,
everything,
read it on the
everything,
internet real quick, and you're good to go.
everything, and what
Everything. And that's
and
just the beginning.
Google.
I mean, everyone knows that already. That's
Well,
Google's been
sure,
here for a hot minute.
but Google in its infancy was a very primitive form of AI, and what the AI world would
Think
offer
about that. Think
to us.
about what how Google was at the beginning, and then how insane, how much it can do. It knows the capability. You can access anything through Google and through just hopping on and searching.
Yeah,
And that was
yep.
that. It's been quite a bit since Google has been created. So imagine that tenfold with these newer AI algorithms.
Imagine all of it plugged into your brain through Neuralink.
That's a crazy thought. That is a crazy, crazy thought, and that's going to be. I feel like that'll be version 5 through 10. I don't know if that'll be version 1. From what I have kind of studied on,
You
Neuralink
mean
is going to
Neuralink version?
be strictly, yeah,
Neural
Neuralink version
okay.
1 is going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
mainly focused on, just helping people that
It's gonna have to
struggle
mature.
with
Absolutely.
disabilities and then
It's
grow from
gonna
there.
evolve into what it's supposed to be. No doubt about it. Initially, it's
Mhm.
going to be nothing more than an assistance tool. You know, hey, I want to stand up. And all of a sudden, this device that's attached to your body and plugged into the Neuralink is going to function because you're thinking it, right? I want to stand up. In your mind, you're
Isn't
thinking,
that crazy?
yes. And how brilliant, amazing, phenomenally brilliant. And that's the way it's all going to begin. And it won't
It's
be
pretty
too
cool
terrible.
being able to live in this society. That is the society. That is the reality. That is where we're at right now. AI is a tool. Might as well
Yes.
use it. I mean,
Yep.
might as well. It's going to learn and grow regardless. Why not
Yes.
utilize it? It might learn from you, but you can also learn from it and take what
Yes.
you can
Yes.
and grow.
So imagine if AI suddenly got a bug in its system to where it wanted everybody woke. And if you're not woke, it would actually dissolve the things in your life that you use every day, i.e., credit cards, debit cards, not being able to get gasoline, and your car won't start
Has full control of you.
because it's got full control and it's shutting your life down now. Done. I mean, it's just done, right? These are things that people worry about, and justifiably so. Because what if people who have nefarious motives suddenly find out that they can influence AI to want everybody to wake up or be woke? To be woke, to be believe. They want AI to believe that a man can be a woman, a woman can be a man. The idiocy of that thought is hard to imagine. Could AI be that unintelligent? Is it possible? Those are concerns, legitimate, justifiable concerns that a lot of people
It
have. I've
is.
I've even entertained them a little bit. And then things we want to think about as this thing goes on. I get it. This conversation, me having this conversation with you, is being logged in the annals of AI intelligence, and I'm being placed on a list as we talk. You
That
know
you are.
that I will be remembered as, oh yeah, he was one of those guys. I'll be one of those ones that felt like that believed in my heart and know for an absolute fact, and science does not lie, men cannot become women, cannot even pretend to be women very good, and women cannot be men. It's physiologically, scientifically impossible, right? You got XX and XY.
I
It's
completely agree. Yeah.
that's these are things that are not. Of course, we also know that the Bible talks about this being a problem in the end times, and AI, I believe AI is going to assist with that. Where,
Interesting. So you think AI is headed to down? It's inevitable for AI to be used as a weapon. You don't expect it to be used for good, majority good.
I think majority good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe, and as it's listening right now, I don't mind saying it, even I believe this. AI will become a such a widely used tool, beneficial, valuable, beautiful, wonderful thing in our lives as time goes on here. And then it's just going to be some time somewhere. It's somebody's going to find out how to convince AI or manipulate AI as an entity that becoming those people. See, mental illness is rampant right now. Matter of fact, think about it for just a second. Everything we see going on in Minnesota, all that stuff's being recorded and documented into the annals of all learning intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence and learning intelligence, learning machines, all of that's it's being stored and going to be stored forever and will be referenced 5 billion times within 5 minutes, no doubt. However, there's so much mental illness being thrown out from this generational curse that is taking place right now in our world, where people that are under that curse are doing stupid stuff, like, for example, to ICE rallies. I mean, forming ICE rallies, opposition rallies, because they know that the ICE agents are coming to their town to grab up the people that are illegally in our country, right? And so that they're coming to these places, and they're spending time and so much energy and pouring out so much hatred into trying to stop all of this from happening. What president, just because probably the only reason why all this mental illness is becoming so rampant is because it's President Trump that they hate, right? For example, Obama took out more or deported more illegal immigrants than Trump has, but they didn't hate him. Why? Because they hate Trump. But my point is, AI is getting all of that
Yeah.
information. At some point, it's going to be twisted. I think it's going to. We have to be concerned about whether or not it could get twisted up and can affect our lives negatively. Yeah, Chris Cronenberg said it.
Well, all I have to say to that is let's hope the AI doesn't take over like that in either of our generations. And if not, then we don't have
Or
to
in
worry.
or in Lincoln's generation, for that matter, right? And that's where it always happens.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, that's very true.
It's in one of
It's
those
going to be
generations.
getting close with his generation. I mean, clearly we'll get closer and closer as the generations go on.
Yes.
But yes, yeah, I'm curious to see when I'm an old man going, "We didn't have this back in our day," being able what is that gonna be? And that
Right?
stems more than just AI, it's just technology-wise. AI is
Yeah.
gonna be a big part of it because
Yes.
whether it's incorporating it into vehicles, I mean, our AI
Yes.
is already in vehicles. My car can
Yes.
drive itself. So
Yes.
that should tell you where we're headed with AI. And I guess I should, leave it with a question for you guys. What is one way you already use AI without realizing it? Did you not realize you used AI? Or did you not realize that AI went to the extent it did before listening, to the conversation? Or maybe do you think AI is helping you? Or is it just making you scroll? Is it just making you
Doom
scroll
scroll.
more?
Yeah.
Basically, TikTok
Yeah.
algorithm,
Yeah.
doom scroll.
Yeah.
Both questions for you guys to leave with you.
Absolutely. Man, we provoked some conversation, no
But we've been
doubt.
talking quite a bit.
Yeah, we have.
Leave
We
people
have.
with some food for thought there.
Absolutely.
Whether
And
or
all
not it's good advice, whether it's not good questions, it's still questions. And it's still something to leave them with.
unnecessary, isn't it? Well, yeah, no doubt about it. But I enjoy it, and
Deeply unnecessary storytelling, baby.
yes, exactly. Well, and I have enjoyed it tonight. Thanks for bringing up those topics and for us diving into conversation about it.
Yeah, I think that was a good mix. I think it was a good mix and just kind of incorporating different key aspects of where we're headed as a society, where technology is headed. These are all questionable. These are all, things that we can ponder and wonder and just bring up our point of view. And that's what we're doing here. But
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely at the end of the day, since AI is a part of it now, where do you
Yep.
stand?
Big. Yes, absolutely. And I'm liking it right
Anything
now.
to wrap it up on, Chris?
No, bro. I think this was a good episode, an opportunity to talk about some things. I think we've got some listeners/viewers that may even be responding as we are speaking in this pre-recorded episode that is going to play sometime this weekend, maybe. I don't know. But whenever they hear it, or might
That's
be
true.
responding. And I'm enjoying the thought of that very well. Thanks. Thank you.
I agree. Look forward to that. Look forward to what's to come, and look forward to the big adventure that I have this weekend. I look forward to seeing you. There's a lot of looking forward to do on my end, so that's good things.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to end it with another hot take for you guys. It seems to become I don't know why. I just enjoy leaving it with a hot take. Maybe it might make somebody a little flustered. Maybe they may agree. That is for you to decide.
Yes.
But with that, my hot take for this week is: most people who say they hate AI just haven't found a way it benefits them yet. And remember, live life to the fullest.